actually ran on the back of Terry Cook as well.
That was a chain reaction crash. Those are really hard to avoid. There's no way to understand what's going on up ahead of you. You can't see through these trucks.
Watch this safer barrier right there. Watch this now. Look at that thing give, Michael. Look at it give.
Oh, that makes me smile. Makes me so happy.
That thing moved in probably at least a foot.
Yeah, and did you see it spread out?
Yep. Ray Dunlap.
And guys, it was not a fuel issue for Kyle Busch on the restart. They have no third gear in the transmission, so that's going to be a problem for him as we go back to green each time. So Kyle Busch worried about that. He also came back on the radio and said, when the caution came out, I was definitely ahead of the 25. They need to relook at the tapes. We should be the leader here, but no third gear for Rowdy.
And remember, I'm sorry, Ray.
Adam?
The guys upstairs talked a little bit about the chain reaction crash when they were looking at the replays. Mike Skinner came on his radio and took responsibility for hitting Colin Brown in the rear end. And his team said, nothing you could do, Mike. It was chain reaction. He said, nope, I got him. I'm the one that started it.
Well, I have to, maybe when Mike sees the replay, he won't feel so bad because it didn't exactly look like that.
Yeah, he did get into the 16 and that got into the 6, but the 6 had to slow way down.
The 16 was into the 6 anyway. It just was one of those bad situations. We had more than 10 laps to go, so James Busher, courtesy of Aaron's, will get a lap back on the field.
Remember Kyle Busch, what Ray reported, Kyle Busch saying you need to look at the tapes. I was ahead of the 25 truck when the caution came out. It doesn't matter. We don't look at tape unless it's to determine the finishing order. They go back to the previous loop, and I'm sure NASCAR did that and determined that the 25 of Terry Cook was in the lead.
We talk about loops. It's a line that is in the track, actually in the track at different
Probably
locations.
8 or 10 different loops on this racetrack.
And when the caution fell, he might have very well been ahead of Terry Cook, but he wasn't ahead of him when they crossed the last scoring loop. That sets the lineup, and we've got 10 to go. Wow, another exciting finish from Atlanta.
We'll see how many wide they are when they get to the finish line today.
We're actually going to have 8 green flag, hopefully green flag laps.
8 laps in front will be Terry Cook. Now let's see how much room he can put between him and the pack, because we know that Kyle Busch is going to struggle getting back up to speed if he doesn't have third gear.
Oh, this is going to be ugly for him. Look at him falling back. NASCAR don't let you fall back on the start.
Terry Cook slows, but back to the gas, and in the gas, and the green flag flies. Now Kyle Busch moves to the inside.
Brian Scott to the inside.
Brian Scott makes the move on the inside, takes the lead away from Terry Cook, and right behind him is Mike Skinner in that number 5.
Remember what happened a couple of weeks ago at California? Mike Skinner got in the back of that 16 of Brian Scott and turned him around.
Look at the track back in the 6th place. Kevin Harvick is marching his way up in the middle of this mess. Look at these guys, 2 wide.
Todd Bodine also throwing his name into the mix. And
there comes Harvick.
The 07 also up there with Chad McCumbee. Kevin Harvick back there in the number 2. Matt Crafton in that tied number 88.
Look at Todd Bodine go for second over Skinner.
Now to the high side goes Skinner.
Todd Bodine to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got to run on the inside of Brian Scott off 2.
Brian Scott on the outside. Todd Bodine on the inside. Here comes Skinner looking down to the bottom of the racetrack. Todd Bodine's going to make the pass. He'll take the lead here at Atlanta.
Watch Harvick on the top of the racetrack.
3 wide there for a second.
Crafton backing up. Scott having to catch it into the wall a bit as he comes off of turn 4. Todd Bodine is your leader.
What a great job by Brian Scott hanging onto that truck. Almost crashed right in front of Harvick and then almost crashed right behind Harvick.
6 laps to go.
Here comes Kevin Harvick all over the back bumper of that 30 of Todd Bodine.
And by the way, here comes Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch has got the momentum back up in his 51 Toyota Tundra, and he looks to the outside of Harvick now.
Side by side for second.
Todd Bodine trying to make it win number 2 of the 2009 season. Kyle Busch says, wait a minute, I want to win once again in this season.
Both those trucks behind Todd Bodine are faster than Todd Bodine, but right now they're dealing with each other, and Todd's just looking in his mirror saying, please keep doing that.
Here comes Kyle Busch, a big run on the outside. He goes by the 30 of Todd Bodine as they go into turn number 3.
Still down here.
The momentum staying in Kyle Busch's side as he stays on the high side of the racetrack.
Just 2 wide. 4 right here.
4 to go, you heard.
Start finish line 4. Oh, that time separated by 8/1000ths of a second when they cross the finish line.
Todd Bodine battle here.
This is what we come to Atlanta for. This is what makes this place so special.
Kyle Busch in front, looking to make it back-to-back wins. California 2 weeks ago, and now Atlanta. I think Kevin Harvick has something for him. Todd Bodine running second, though.
Todd Bodine moved down, shut off the door on Kevin Harvick.
Harvick needs to get around Todd Bodine. He's got to run on the inside. If he can get around Todd Bodine, he's still got 3 laps. There's a chance he can do something with Kyle Busch. This has been the fastest truck after the trucks get a few laps on him. You hear him, he's clear all around. Now he's going after Kyle Busch.
Here comes Kevin Harvick, his first ever Camping World Truck Series start at Atlanta.
He's got 2.5 laps to chase him down.
Kyle Busch sees that 2 in his rearview mirror.
I think he can get there. Kyle Busch is still loose. That truck side to side through the corners. Harvick's closing in.
3 miles to go. 2 laps remain. 3 wide behind him.
Look at Johnny Benson on the inside fighting back. Remember, Johnny had that penalty. He had to go the tail end of the longest line for speeding on pit road.
Johnny Benson down the bottom.
Good corner for Kyle Busch there. He put a little ground on Harvick off 2. But the last time through 3 and 4, Harvick really closed in on Busch.
We saw how good Kevin Harvick was through 3 and 4 earlier in the race. Let's see if he's able to keep that up.
Look at him sideways. Kyle Busch sideways.
Kyle Busch wobbles coming out of 4. And that closes the gap now. 1 to go. Kyle Busch in front of Kevin Harvick.
Oh, Harvick lost a little ground there.
All over the back bumper. Kyle Busch came down when they came into turn number 1, closed the door. Let's see if Kevin Harvick has anything for him. 3 truck lengths separate the 2 as they enter turn 3.
Oh, he's sideways. He gets a little sideways early in the corner.
Sideways again. Here comes Kevin Harvick coming out of turn number 4. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick. Kyle Busch will win again. 4 wins at this racetrack for Kyle Busch.
What an awesome job by Kyle Busch, hanging onto that truck sideways and holding off Kevin Harvick.
And he had his hands full with that truck.
Unbelievable. Kyle Busch didn't have 3rd gear on the restart, so he had to wait until he could get into 4th to get the momentum up.
It's like he was completely out of the equation, and all of a sudden he fought back, and then we saw him, he was 3rd, got by Todd.
Battling on the high side of the racetrack. What an amazing win, and what a record this driver has at this
He's only won
racetrack.
4 races here out of 5.
Where did he finish in the other one?
8.
Yeah.
You're phenomenal. You are the best. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for not giving up.
Incredible. What a dynamic duo we have with Kyle Busch and Doug George. Let's hear from Doug.
And never give up is certainly a good way to put that one. I thought you guys were doomed, but you didn't give up.
Well, we completely lost 3rd gear there, and on that last restart, he started losing 2nd as well, and we just lost so much momentum. Strategy worked out well, but transmission didn't work out so well. But anyhow, kid didn't give up. I tell you, that Toyota Tundra Miccosukee Resort was, I mean, the kid is phenomenal. I mean, we didn't have the best truck. We worked on it, and he never gave up, and that was the bottom line, because when he rolled in the corner, we were like 10 back, 8 back. I'm like, man, this is not good, and he just rolled the outside. He's just a phenomenal driver, man.
For 09, how about a 2nd and 2 firsts? That feel pretty good?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this team's been working hard over the winter, and everybody in the shop. It definitely helped this year. We were a little more ahead of the game having our trucks built, and again, Billy Ballou and all the guys at the shop, everything's going good so far. We just got to keep working hard.
Go celebrate. Doug George with his 2nd win of 2009.
Kyle Busch climbs back in the race truck with the checkered flag. He'll head to victory lane. Well, Kyle Busch again in victory lane. That, oh, by the way, is the 4th time in 2009 that Kyle Busch will go to victory lane for the top 3 series of NASCAR.
Didn't he do it like 21 times last year?
21 times a year ago. Doesn't look like, wait a minute, we've got a problem here with Hornaday.
Hornaday and Matt Craft.
Those 2 are not happy. Hornaday especially. Adam, what's going on?
Right after the race was over, they parked on pit road, and let's see if we can grab a word with Ron Hornaday. Ron, I know tempers are running a little high right now, but Matt came over right after the race had ended. Talk to you a little bit. What went on there?
Well, I actually talked to him on the racetrack. He gave me a pretty good shove down there, and he don't understand. He pushed me up to the guy in front of him. When I turned left to go down there, he was already down there. Didn't know that, but he wants to do that. That's fine. I don't care. We build his trucks for him, so it shows how good the KHI is, because he done an awesome job in their truck. And got to thank VFW, everybody. This is a awesome day for us. It just Guy's trying to run with fuel. I don't know how we can do this, and these pit stops, so we'll figure it out.
7th today for Hornaday.
The pit stops made it fun, didn't it? And I said I knew it would make it fun for us. It would be a struggle for the guys on pit road.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure the drivers are too happy right now. One driver that's extremely happy is our winner. Kyle Busch is headed to victory lane. We'll hear from him right after the break. Kyle Busch celebrating his 11th career win in the Camping World Truck Series, his 4th win at Atlanta Motor Speedway. After all that celebration, he made it to victory lane, right?
Well, he has climbed out of this Mikazuki Toyota. Old chassis number 11 back to victory lane. Kyle Busch has won 11 times in this series, 9 with this truck, but I'll tell you what, the way that transmission was, I didn't think you had a chance in the world. How did you do it?
I don't know, man. I got to thank everybody on this team, all these guys that work so hard at Billy Blue Motorsports with this Mikazuki Tundra. It was awesome today. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. Again, all we did was bide our time and did what we needed to do to get there at the end of the race and win this thing, have a chance to win this thing. And want to thank the fans, like I said, Mikazuki, NOS Energy Drink, Toyota, TRD, everybody on this team. I mean, they're phenomenal. Doug's really one of a kind, and you know, Richie is too. We've had great jobs with Richie, and I think we're going somewhere, maybe.
I'll tell you what, Kyle, I heard that you didn't have 3rd gear, but somebody just told me you didn't have 2nd gear on that last restart. Is that true? Yeah, the last restart coming there, I stepped in it, and as soon as I stepped in it and applied power, it snapped it too. So I had to go all the way to 4th and just kind of lugged it all the way around there. You know, I got out of the way so those guys could go and race. Didn't want to block them up, but fell back, I don't know how far, but I thought it was like 8th or 10th or something like that. It felt like an eternity to get this thing up to speed and get going, but once we got there, man, I didn't lift in final 12 laps. I just stayed in the gas wide open, ran the middle groove, and it prevailed. That was pretty awesome. So to race those guys like that, and I don't think we out-trucked them today, but we outdrove them at the end. You know, when we look at the whole series, some of the best races we've ever seen happen right here at this racetrack. Where does Atlanta on your favorite list?
I mean, Atlanta's a great racetrack. It's fun. You can move around. It's enjoyable. But, man, when you get going on old tires, it is not that much fun. It looks like fun for a lot of us, but man, we were just barely hanging on. It's so technical and so finished. That's what makes this track so good for all the drivers and shows what cars come out, what drivers come out. But Atlanta's a great place to race. It's probably top 10 on my list, but it's not in the top 5 yet. Well,
he looked like near death yesterday with a sinus infection. Pretty smiley today. Kyle Busch back in victory lane at Atlanta. Now let's check in with Adam, who has a very unhappy Matt Crafton.
We heard from Ron Hornaday and Matt Crafton on the other end of that ordeal there late in the race. So take us through what happened during the race and then once the checkered flag had gone in the air, Matt.
I just got a big run. I was in his left rear quarter panel, and he just decided to block me going into 3. And it's a fast place to go wreck somebody. I wouldn't get a wrecking going into 3, but I guess we might have to do that one of these days to maybe get them where they block. I mean, he said that somebody turned him down, so he had to turn down. I mean, I don't know. I guess one of those race deals. Our truck was so good all day and just messed up right there at the end and killed us.
Talk about the frustration, because you felt very good going into the race, top 5, top 3 all day long, and you end up with a result outside the top 10. That's tough.
That's horrible. I mean, that truck was way better than that. I mean, I don't know. It was too good, and just on that last run, it just got horrible. I mean, it just got tight. I don't know what the deal was with it, so I'm just going to Martinsville.
Thanks, Matt.
So again, we saw the heated tempers between Hornaday and Crafton, and you heard from both parties now. Hornaday said, I was down there, and Crafton saying, well,
he had a run.
You weren't before you saw me coming. So obviously they'll live to race another day, and that next race will be at Martinsville. And when you go to short track racing, it always seems like, well, people remember things that happen on some of these other big tracks.
Yeah, you get over it between now and then. They got a little bit of time to breathe. They'll be all right.
A couple weeks before our next race, but only a day before he gets back behind the wheel. Can he win again? Maybe a sweep in Atlanta. Kyle Busch wins the truck race. Photographs continuing in victory lane for Kyle Busch and his Mikazuki number 51 Toyota Tundra team. Let's take a look at today's touch of gray winning moment and how they got to victory lane.
When we start this tape, you're going to say, how did he win? no third and fourth, second and third gear. He had to start in fourth, and he went all the way back to the ninth spot.
He got completely out of the race here. Then all of a sudden I look up and he's running third, and here's the pass for the lead and actually the pass for the win on the 30 of Todd Bodine.
Makes the move around Todd Bodine. That was the Touch of Gray winning moment. Touch of Gray from Just for Men. Let's go to Adam Alexander.
How about Terry Cook, top 5 finish in 2 of the first 3 races? You must be pleased with 5th today.
Well, pleased. We'll drive back home to Mooresville tonight to see Amy and Cody, but, we're disappointed at the same token. Anytime you can get down inside of 10 to go and you're leading the race, you got a shot at the win. That's all you can ask for is put yourself in position. And all day long we were struggling on restarts. Our second gear ratio was just too high. We were spinning the tires, and on that last restart I saw Kyle laying back. I knew he had troubles with transmission third gear, so I checked the field up a little bit coming to the stripe there to the restart point, and just couldn't get going again. Just struggling spinning the tires, and then sure enough, 2 restarts in a row we were running out of fuel getting into turn 1, and motor just stumbled. We just couldn't get enough fuel in the pickup and the fuel cell. So it was a great call by Danny Rollins and the entire Harris Trucking Toyota Tundra team to put us in that position to win it, but unfortunately just didn't have a little bit more fuel in that little black box, and they're picking it up. But nevertheless, still very pleased with top 5.
I appreciate the competitor in you that says I wanted to win the race when leading late, but what kind of statement does this make for this team in this situation to come out of the gate like you guys have?
Well, it's huge. We obviously have Harris Trucking. Toyota Tundra is, got Harris Trucking on it, but, we've had some great sponsors. Cajun Industries, TMASE has helped us out this year. S-Line has helped us out a bunch, but we're still needing sponsorship to keep running. And if we can keep running like this, I think it's all going to take care of itself. But, if we could have had another top 5 at California, who knows, might be leading the points now.
Solid veteran in 5th today. That's Terry Cook. Another one in 4th. Ray?
Well, the Exoid Toyota comes home with a 4th place finish, and what a start to this season, Mike Skinner. You start with a brand new team. There was a lot of question marks about whether or not you guys would be competitive, but a 7th, an 11th, and a 4th, that's a pretty good start.
Well, it really is. Today we had about a 9th place truck, and the way the pit stops all worked out, Eric knew that our truck wasn't very good. He said, we got to do something. So we came in on the last stop and topped back off on fuel. So we had plenty of fuel. We were going to come down pit road one more time and get tires, but we were only going to do it one time. And several of the other front runners had to pit. So I think that moved us up a few spots, but we'll sure as heck take it. And I'm just proud that the Exide folks were here today, and I want to thank American Commercial Lines for sponsoring this race. It was a great day.
I'll tell you, Mike, this new pit road rule sure keeps us hopping down here. How do you like it from the driver's seat?
It sucks. I hate it. It's the worst thing we've done yet, in my opinion. But I don't make the rules. I'm glad that NASCAR lets me come and play, Ray. I don't think the fans like it. I know I don't like it. We got our right front tire cut again today on pit road by another truck, and it's just it's a tough deal, but I'm sure they'll get it right. They'll look at it and make some right decisions here soon.
All right, congratulations on another good run. Mike Skinner finishes 4th, and Adam is standing by with Chad McCumbee.
And for the 2nd straight race, Chad McCumbee able to use a good race truck, nice strategy, and a good finish. 6th place today. Your thoughts?
Oh, man, it's just really cool that we can keep this momentum going. Bobby's, once again, the man on top of the pit box. We were good in the early going there, and we were a solid top 10 truck. We had some problem getting the fuel in the truck the first stop, and that went on into the 2nd stop. And just, obviously, we restart 20th or whatever it was every time, so we never really could show that we were still good. But, he kept telling me that we were running, probably around 5th place times the whole time. And so we kept confident, and we knew we just needed to do something to get some track position. And luckily, having a fuel problem, we could put a little extra fuel in because we were already at the back. And if it had went green, I mean, heck, we were one of the few that I think could have made it. But, strategy there at the end a little bit, 4 tires, no fuel, and a few other guys did it. And we knocked a hole in the nose going around Carmichael, and that, I think that's what maybe kept us from battling for that win there.
Congratulations on a good day.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Remember, we thought he cleared him.
Yeah, totally cleared him. That could have been debris also, too, that maybe poked a hole in the front of that truck.
What a great day for racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch collecting more checkered flags in his young career. Bowing to the crowd here at Atlanta. We'll be right back. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. Visit campingworld.com. Check out this week's featured special checkered flag recliners. By Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. Toyota, moving forward. And by Royal Purple. Visit royalpurple.com to find a dealer near you. Kyle Busch in victory lane, celebrating with the trophy once again. It's happened so many times for this young man. Let's take a look at how he got there. At the very beginning, he was on the pole. Rick Crawford on the outside slows the outside lane, but that doesn't slow Kevin Harvick down.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick jumped by him on the outside to lead lap number 1. Here he passes him a little bit later on. Kyle's going to return the favor and get back by Kevin Harvick.
It became evident early in the going that this wasn't going to be a repeat of California. He got out front out there and never looked back. Here, it was a battle all day long.
Timothy Peter had problems with the left front tire not being bolted on when they got ready to pull off. That was a debris caution for the first time, and then Kevin Harvick back out in front as he gets by Todd Bodine.
Harvick had the fastest truck all day long. And watch all the action on pit road. These guys are still trying to get their arms around the new pit rules. Kyle Busch out into the grass
to get around the 7 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Now he backs off and let J.R. get back in front of him. Here's a little cock from Colin Brown into the back of Ricky Carmichael. Chad McCumbee does a great job avoiding him, but Rick Crawford and especially Dennis Setzer with absolutely nowhere to go.
Then on lap 118,
we saw Brown put a little contact to the back of Carmichael, and turnabout's fair play. He gets hit in the back and put into the inside wall.
But because of the 25 truck not really getting going off of turn 2 right after the restart.
Neither one of those were intentional, just part of the racing deal, as they say. Look at Kyle Busch. Can't go at all. He's going to drop all the way back to 9th with just a handful of laps to go.
Less than 10 laps to go. 8 laps of racing to go. He drops back to 9th. And here he is with a pass for the lead and the win over Todd Bodine and holds off Kevin Harvick.
0.123, the margin of victory for Kyle Busch over Kevin Harvick this day in Atlanta. They're always close finishes at this racetrack. And again, toward the end of the race, problems between the 33 and the 88s. They had some words once they got to pit road. Ron Hornaday wasn't happy.
What happened?
Matt Crafton.
They exit turn 2. Matt's got a good run. Look at him up on the high side. Rondell on the bottom. Matt says he's got a run on Hornaday and dives to the bottom of the racetrack. Ron says, I need this spot, man. I'm going to have to block you. Blocks him all the way down to the bottom of the track.
Matt backs off, pulls in behind Ron Hornaday, cost him a top 10 finish. And they were a little bit upset feelings after the race.
Guy who did get a top 10 finish, actually top 3, Todd Bodine, is with Ray Dunlap.
And Rick, what an unbelievable start to the 2009 season for Todd Bodine and Germain Racing. How about a first, a second, and third? That's got to make you smile.
Yeah, it makes us smile, but when you get used to the first, the second, and the thirds aren't very fun. But we had a great truck. It was a little too tight at the end. That short run really played into Kyle's hand. His truck was so free that it really would haul the mail there in the short run. So he had a good truck, good Tundra. Our Tundra was good, and really proud to be able to get tilted kilt. A great run on the hood of this truck. Hopefully we can talk him into sticking around for a while and having some fun with us. The Truck Series is a blast, and it's a great company, up-and-coming company. It's a pub and eatery. Great place to eat, good food, so everybody check them out, and hopefully we keep them around for a while.
Is it honestly the truth that if you don't get sponsorship, you will not be at Martinsville?
Yeah, we made that decision last week. If we don't have a sponsor before Martinsville, we're not going to be going. The Germain family, the brothers have put their heart and soul in this team, and Mike Hillman Sr., and we've done everything we need to do, and we've put ourselves in good position. And in this economy, it's just so hard to make a company or get a company to move as fast as we need them to move. A major corporation takes 8-10 weeks to get anything happening. We need something now. We need it in 2 weeks, and that's hard to do. So as good as start we had this year, we've decided that we're not going to Martinsville without a sponsor. So we're actually going to talk to Tilted Kilt next week and hopefully sign them up and carry on down the road and have a great season.
Okay, we wish you the best of luck. Can you imagine? Todd Bodine's just a whisker away from leading the points right now. A first, second, and third so far this year, and a question mark as to whether they'll be at the next race. Adam?
Brian Scott will be in Martinsville, and he'll be coming off his first top 10 finish of 2009, and that could have all been for naught if it wasn't for that amazing save you had coming off of 4 late in the race.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting. My crew got me where I needed to be. We were able on that restart to get the lead, and Todd got underneath me because I was really tight, and I went in that corner, and I'm going to keep trying to hold it wide open, hopefully get it back. And Harvick had a really good run on the high side and just sucked me around and saved it once, and then, it got sideways twice, and just like that, it went from second or third all the way back to 10th or 11th, and I mean, we had a really good truck, and we were there at the end, and we had a shot at it. That's all you can ask for. Our Albertson Toyota Tundra guys did a really good job all day. I mean, we were there when it counted, and I mean, we were at the short end of the stick there, and hopefully later in the year we'll be on the giving end.
Leading the race late, did you think today was going to be the day to get you to victory lane?
I really did. On that restart, when I took the lead, I didn't know that my truck was going to be tight. I knew that we had 4 fresh tires. We were low on fuel, so I knew it was going to grip really well. It's going to be nose heavy, and it should have just been a rocket ship. And as soon as I got under Terry Cook and held it wide open, had the lead coming out of there, I said, all right, you know, I've seen Kyle Busch do this a lot. When he does it, he takes off. And we went through 3 and 4, and Todd was still there, and we went through 1 and 2, and more nose weight and less fuel and more grip. We traveled more than we ever had down there, and I bottomed out and shot up the racetrack, and he got underneath me and just he got me. You know, that's all you can say. I think I learned a lesson there, and I know next time if we get in that position where we're low on fuel but have good tires, we'll loosen it up and hopefully be a little bit different outcome.
Nice run today.
Thank you.
Young Brian Scott with another top 10 finish. Camping World points unofficially. Kyle Busch 25 in front of Todd Bodine. Again, Todd Bodine a first, a second, and a third. And he's second in the points because the guy who's leading him, second, first in his first 3 races.
But here are a couple of guys in the top 5 that you expect to be there and will be there all season long. Mike Skinner and Ron Hornaday.
And then another name like J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's holding down 5th and 10th. Pretty impressive performance early on in the season. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. A couple accidents took place today. One of those with the hardest hit had to be Colin Brown. He's standing by with Adam Alexander.
No doubt about it, Rick. Colin Brown gets the hard hit of the day award. The good news is you're okay. Take us through what happened there on the back straightaway.
Well, you know, we came in for that last pit stop, and we elected to stay out, try to make it on fuel. I think we're going to be good, and got the restart there. Got a good run on the outside, and I don't know what happened to 25 on the top. He just stopped going, and unfortunately, I got in the back of him. Really had nowhere to go for me. You know, I had 51 on the bottom and obviously the wall on the outside. And I got in the back of 25 and then just got hit from behind and turned around. So not really sure what happened, but, you know, certainly unfortunate day for the number 6 Conway Freight Ford F-150 truck.
Ray, bestest rookie of the year in 2008 as we watched the hard hit from earlier today and the pole at Daytona to start 09. And then a bunch of bad luck after that. How frustrating has the start been?
Well, it's frustrating. You know, you're running second or third there with 10 laps to go. And to get turned around like that's unfortunate. But, you know, it's part of racing. And, you know, I guess that's sometimes the way it goes.
Tough back-to-back weeks for Colin Brown, but he will be in Martinsville ready to go.
Remember, that's a 3,400-pound truck. And that was up in the air after hitting the wall. Again, unofficial results of today's American Commercial Lines 200. Kyle Busch with his 11th career win in the Truck Series. Kevin Harvick comes home second in his first ever start in a truck at Atlanta.
To Matt Crafton just outside the top 10. TJ Bell with another good run, a top 12 finish. Taylor Malsom, our top finishing Ray bestest rookie in 13.
Rick Cross starts, finished a lap down to the field.
Ricky Carmichael ends up with a 21st place finish after getting wrecked over in turn 1 and 2.
Adam Alexander just caught up with him.
And Ricky Carmichael starting to sound like a NASCAR driver. You finished 21st, and you said we had a top 10 easy. Take us through what happened today, Ricky.
Yeah, everything was good. I was learning the track, and just unfortunate situation for the Monster Energy Chevrolet. We was coming into one there after one of the restarts. I messed up and spun the tires and missed a shift, but we got back going, and this just got into me and turned me sideways, and I was a passenger at that point. And Setzer hit the truck, and then then I just had to baby it along. Just unfortunate because we had a top 10 for sure.
Talk about the learning process of going through a situation like that, because that's a new ordeal for you.
It is, going sideways and spinning around. For sure, just learning. But really happy that we are running that good and that strong at this place. It's a beast, and I feel like I learned a lot while our truck was in great shape.
So now you take off your driver hat and you become a motorcycle analyst, right? We'll see you later tonight on Speed. A preview of what we'll see in AMA Supercross at Daytona?
Absolutely. I hope we see some good racing, and we'll see you guys down there, but can't thank the fans here in Atlanta enough.
All right. Thanks, Ricky.
Yeah, thank you.
The GOAT, Ricky Carmichael, finishes up today unofficially 21st after being involved in an incident on lap 74. It was Kyle Busch that started on the pole today, and it looked as though if he was going to continue what he had done in California, he was going to dominate. But that wasn't the story here. It was Kevin Harvick who threw his hat into the mix. Also, Todd Bodine was right in there.
You sure were. And you see our next race will be actually on Fox in a couple weeks from Martinsville, actually a few weeks from Martinsville.
Kroger 250, Saturday, March 28th. That one kicks off at 2 Eastern.
That's a tough place to keep your feelings in check, isn't it? You get offended in a hurry in Martinsville.
We had some feelings hurt here earlier today. Maybe it will move on to Martinsville. You'll have to pay attention to that. A few accidents, a couple hard hits, but in the end, it was Kyle Busch, his 4th win at Atlanta Motor Speedway, back-to-back wins in the Truck Series in 2009. Kyle Busch in victory lane again.